Well, look, the trophy, as we've seen in the studio, has blue ribbons on it now. Will they still be blue on Sunday? Or will Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool have something to say about that? It is Liverpool against Wolves. Let's hear from Klopp and Bruno Lage.
We have actually no pressure. We have the pressure to win a football game, but we have that now since a while. But not about what if we don't have that. And if City has that, I don't know. I'm 100% sure that's normal. That when we played Southampton 1-0 down, somehow people from City will be aware of that, and it's not a moment where I think that would be nice. And then we turn around again, and these kind of things, and now it just goes really to the wire, and that's it's pretty special for us. It's very positive. How positive is out in the end? For if you have something to lose, that feels different. We don't have. We burned situations like this before. We know it's not very easy, but we probably most of the time we deal with it as well. Okay, and I have no reason to think why City wouldn't. But the situation is different, and we have our situation. And ours is full throttle. Give it a try. Let's see what's the outcome.
They are maybe the best teams in the competition, maybe the best teams in the world. So it will be exciting to be involved of this situation, and for us is another good moment to play against this strong team. A manager is like a big reference in the world, so it will be a pleasure, and we go there to try to give for us a different image that we did in the last 6 games. That's the most important thing. We have a good record on away games. We have a good performance against these kind of teams, and we go there with that ambition to play the way we like to play in the mythic stadium. So that's the main target for us on Sunday.
Well, Liverpool will be hoping that these ribbons will be changed come Sunday, and it is still a possibility. How much credit, David, does Jurgen Klopp deserve for getting his team into this position where they can still win all 4 trophies available to them this season with just 2 games left? It's incredible, isn't it?
Absolutely incredible, yeah. I'm glad they haven't defined the run-in as cup finals, even though they've had a couple of cup finals in that run-in, because at the moment their cup finals have always gone to extra time and penalties. So that would
can't have that on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, it'll be draws in the league. But yeah, I mean, it's not just Jurgen Klopp. Let's be right. It's his team, and when he signed his new contract recently, it was the team that signed, his backroom staff that signed contracts as well. But there's a belief in this Liverpool team, which is incredible. I can't say I've seen it before. They never look like they're down. In the last couple of games, they've conceded early in completely altered teams, if you like. And there was always a potential there that it could implode. But they've got back, won the games, put themselves on the last game of the season at home. Depending on what's happening in Manchester at the same time, that place will be rocking, or it will still be a celebration for what has been a truly amazing season.
What you were saying about that shift, that ability of them to change and other players to jump in. I think if you wanted a tribute to the season, the perfect tribute to the season is that game against Southampton during the week. Because, of course, we're thinking it's all set up for the final day. If Southampton go and win that, that kills our final day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So thank goodness they went there and got that done. But you look at the team, it's totally changed, and they give a fantastic performance. I think their best performance in the last couple of weeks. Now, it has been so problematic to juggle everything in the last couple of weeks and everything still counting. But they gave a performance of such personality in that game, especially after going 1-0 down early on. And that was everything that Liverpool have been all about over the last 3 months, really.
Tim, were you concerned when you saw that starting 11 for Liverpool going into the match?
Yes and no. I thought it'd give them a boost in the Southampton dressing room to know that some of the superstars who have been outstanding, like Luis Diaz, for instance, who've been brilliant, give them more of a level playing field. But Jamo's right. I mean, they're never beat. They don't have to play well to win games, this side. They just need moments because they're so clinical in front of goal. I just think they need moments in games, whereas Man City need to play well, need to get a rhythm, they need to control. Liverpool don't need that, so they can get over the line. It's incredible they're going to play. If they go to the Champions League final extra time, every minute of every game they possibly could. I mean, it's incredible and they have to rotate. It's, you know, I always think I need a rest, but I probably would have done if I'd played that amount of games. You know, I just think that they've got game controllers. He uses the right changes at the right time, Jurgen. Like, if they need some control in the game, he just sticks on Henderson. He sticks him on because he knows it's like a manager going onto the pitch. All of a sudden, he just gains control. He starts barking out orders. He starts putting people in their place. And I just think he's got it off to a T, Jurgen. I don't think he's their best mate. And I think he realises he doesn't have to be. I think he gets utmost respect. And I think he respects the players and they respect him.
When you talk about the belief that both of you have pointed out as former players that you can see in this Liverpool squad, where does that come from? Has that come from the manager? Is that something that comes from within? Is it something that builds over time between a squad?
I think you need to look around that changing room. You look at the likes of Van Dijk, you look at the likes of Thiago, perhaps, Jordan Henderson, as you mentioned there. These guys have got big characters. James Milner. I mean, I love James Milner. Absolutely love him. And every time he goes on, I'm thinking, why is he putting him on there? And you see what he did against.
He comes on, he smashes someone as hard as he possibly can, and then he settles down into the game.
Yeah, and there was points in that.
It's a calling card.
I've arrived.
It's a calling card.
There was points in that Southampton game where he was having a go at some of his own players for not doing things right. And I think you've got Jurgen, obviously, as the controller in a sense, as the manager, but the changing room polices itself. You know, there's as I say, that belief. I mean, he's got his staff behind him as well. And what I find interesting watching the touchline is when different people pop over to Jurgen and say something. It's not just Jurgen on his own doing things. But once you've got that in the change room, I'm sure Tim has had, maybe even when he won the title, when you've got dominant characters pushing in the positive way, because they can be very disruptive as well, destructive even, then that team just believes they can win any game of football.
The key is to it is Fergie had it back in the day. He had experienced players who learnt off him what it was like to play for Manchester United. I think when Mourinho went to Chelsea, he had the same. He had a group. He had a cartel. He had a cartel of 6 or 7 who they knew how to play for Chelsea or what the manager wants. He's got that exact cartel at Liverpool now. There's probably five of them in the group. He knows they're strong enough characters to pull everyone else in line. There's going to be no one stepping out of line. No one comes off the track. Because if they do, it doesn't have to be Jurgen Klopp to tell them. One of the people in the dressing room, one of them leaders who we talked about, will just put them in line. This is what we need to do. He's leading us to the water, and we're going to show him how we're going to drink it.
But will it be enough to gain an unprecedented quadruple, or is that just one step too far for this incredible Premier League team that we're watching?
They're going to do what they need to do. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I'm not convinced it will be enough. And, you know, I think, as JMO says, they deserve to take their applause at the end of it, because to be able to play that maximum of matches, to be able to push it that far, to be able to be in with a chance of everything so deep into the season, it is an incredible season. Whatever happens on Sunday, it has been a historic season for Liverpool. And do you know what? This isn't the beginning or end of anything. This Manchester City and Liverpool thing is going to carry on going for ages and ages. Because you talked about Haaland coming in next season. Well, Luis Diaz has got a 6-month start on him, you know, and he's just settled straight away. You talked about what it means to play for Liverpool. Well, they've spotted a player who grasps it immediately. He's understood it spiritually, tactically, in every possible way, and he's just clicked as if he's been there.
I don't want to put a dampener on it for Liverpool, but I think Michael Edwards leaving. It's a structural change. Sporting director, his recruitment has been second to none. Probably all over the Premier League. They're going to need to fill his shoes. They need to continue with this conveyor belt of bringing in this talent who don't have to settle, don't need time to settle, because he identifies them. He knows that they can play in a philosophy of how Jurgen Klopp wants to play. That will be interesting, that transition, because Man City still have that infrastructure in behind Pep Guardiola. Yeah,
but if I can say, I think the way the Liverpoolers are, the ownership of Liverpool, they've already put that into process with regards to Julian coming in and taking over. I mean, he's basically done a year's apprenticeship, which is something no other club do. They're like, he's leaving, you're in, all the best. This has been a seamless transition. And the ownership has been, Jules, the ownership of Liverpool has been phenomenal. And you can look just across the way there down the M56 where things haven't been done so well. And all of a sudden, you realise what big clubs can look like if it's not done properly.
Everyone in South Africa going, M56.
Hey, not just people in South Africa. I don't know roads in Liverpool. Let's just put you on the spot then, because it is our final show. No one sees you next week, so if you get it wrong, it's fine.
I've got it wrong before and I've still turned up.
The trophy's going to be taken away in a minute, so who's winning it, Tim?
City.
JMO?
I'm going to go City because we don't know what team Jurgen's going to put out, because he also has another game to play after the weekend.
City?
City.
Yeah, I suppose City.
Oh, you're so disappointed to say that.
I'm just divided.
Yeah.
I think Villa will make it interesting, but City will just about get there.
Okay.
You, Jules?
Shall I just go rogue? I'm just going to say Liverpool. Why not?
Cool.
Yeah, do it.
Why not?
All right.
I've said it.
On you.
Oh, God. See you in August. Right, we're going to take a